Hello and welcome to another edition of Raggy's Beers, Wines and Spirits, but this time it's the homebrew triple header. Put some yeast in both of these two last night, not heard any bubbles coming through, so I presume that the fermenting's actually done. I'm going to take a look in, see how it looks. See how it smells as well. If by tomorrow I still don't... Yeah, that seems to have cleared. So, you know, it's supposed to be a pink grapefruit IPA. It looks a bit dark to me to be that sort of IPA. And this is the Head Cracker, Woodfordes Head Cracker. And again, that's cleared as well. So maybe I was wrong, and it was just a case of, you know, giving them another few days to clear. So I didn't need to go and spend $3.50 on yeast. So let that be a lesson. Hey. Now the Evil Dog, I put the hops in last night, and you put the hops in on either a day or 2 days before the end. There are alternative ways of doing it, but that's the way that they tell you. And this is done as well. So it's time to give it some drain and drain it into the barrel ready for bottling. So this has all been sterilised. Put it at the bottom. And make sure I've turned the barrel tap off, because we don't want any and that's it. So for the next 10 minutes I'm going to have to stand here and listen to it drain. Yeah, for craft beers, add the hop pellets, ideally 1 or 2 days before you bottle your beer. So I've added it now. Yeah, it's coming out a nice golden amber colour. Bear in mind, this is the first fermentation, so it's going into the barrel, and then I'm going to give it a day, 2 days, and then I'm going to bottle it. Straight into bottles. A bit of sugar in the bottle for secondary fermentation. Pour it in, leave a bit of a gap at the top. I'm going to use 2 litre pop bottles for this, because there's a bit of expansion they'll give. This Evil Dog makes 7.5% alcohol. I've had it before and it was a hell of a lot stronger than 7.5. So, you know, it's a really strong beer. You know, it's definitely not something you're going to drink 3 or 4 pints of, you know, because you'll be on your back. Another reason for doing it into a barrel is it won't transfer a lot of the sediment at the bottom. So you put it into the barrel first. Putting it into the barrel makes it easier for bottling. You know, it's a bit of a process, but a process that eventually, you know, is a lot easier. I've already had to bottle up 20 litre bottles of wine tonight that was in the beer barrel, and strangely enough the barrel was absolutely pretty clean afterwards. So, you know, bottling wine and putting it in a barrel for a few months doesn't, this is red wine, and it didn't make too much of a mess inside the barrel, which is good news for me, because obviously I'm the one who cleans the barrels. So just under 20 litres now. England are playing tonight, so I'm not messing about. I need to crack on as quick as I can. No beer reviews for a few days, I'm afraid. got a little bit drunk the other night and got banned off the beer by the wife. So, hey, live and learn. Right, it's going down nicely. Obviously I've got to wash out this bucket, sterilise the bucket, and thinking of doing an elderflower, sparkling elderflower wine brew, which should be an amazing brew. So, while this is draining, let's talk about these two. I've got to add the hops to this, so I'm going to add the hops. So I'm going to give that yet another day before I barrel it and then bottle it. Same with this one. With this one, I'm going to give it a day and then I'm going to bottle it tomorrow night. So I'm going to bottle, first things first tomorrow night, I'm going to bottle all the Evil Dog into bottles, put the bottles away. I don't need to look at them for a couple of weeks, then I'll do a review of what it tastes like. Hopefully it will taste nice. The carbonation is going to add the fizzy to it, you know, fizz it up a little bit. And finish off the brew side of things. Now with these two, I might have an interesting scenario, because I put that yeast in last night, paid the money, put the yeast in, and it didn't seem to do anything anyway, so obviously all the sugar's gone. And it was just taking its time to clear. Hey, you live and learn. When I put them into bottles, there may be some live yeast still. So it'll be a real, like a proper bottle conditioned beer, rather than just secondary fermented beer. So that's going to be very interesting. Let's see what happens. Hopefully I won't have any exploding bottles, you know. But with that, I might even get, because I'm going to put a spoonful of sugar in, and then if there's any yeast in it, it's going to bubble up that sugar into more alcohol. And so these two may get even stronger than originally intended. And the grapefruit one, this one, is 5.7%. The head cracker is around about 7%. So, you know, it might notch them up by another percentage. Which it isn't always a bad thing. Now because it's crowded on here, and boy is it crowded, I've got a bit of an interesting job trying to tip the last few litres out. So here's my next beer reviews. Nuki Brown, Fuller's London Pride, when I'm back on it next week. Beautiful smell to it, an absolutely gorgeous smell. It's coming out clear, it's got a bit of a head on, you know. And obviously I'm going to put some sugar in there, whether I do it tonight so it settles a bit, ready before it goes into the bottles, I may do that. So it's easier to put sugar into the barrel than it is to mess about putting it into bottles. You can use carbonation drops, everyone's got their own preference. I use sugar, primarily because it's cheaper anyway. But I'm going to use 1 teaspoon per 2 litre bottle. So I'll find 12 bottles and 1 teaspoon per bottle. So I don't want it to go too strong and start exploding bottles, but I do want it to have a nice head on it. So we're down to 10 litres. And just seen Sweden go through, so that's interesting. England versus Colombia in about an hour and a half. Can we do it? I don't know, we'll see I suppose. If we can play like we can play, then we can beat any team. On our day we can beat any team in the world. But it's our pumps up they are, it's tactic, referee, you know. I don't know how dirty Colombia are and how quickly they jump to the floor like a certain Neymar. He was a blooming crybaby. Right, 9 litres now. And soon I'm going to have to wiggle this a little bit. Being careful not to yank the pipe, because obviously I'm draining it from the barrel, from the bucket into the barrel. It's not draining massively fast as it is. Around about 7 litres to go. Then I'll start tipping the bucket towards me so that I get as little sediment as possible. Seems to be on a bit of a go slow. It's still draining, it's just not very fast. Typical, isn't it, when you need to get on with all work. Obviously a good thing, if you've got one of them hooks that you hook on the side, they're great, and it's something I need to get a new hook and probably a new pipe, because my pipe's bent as well, which isn't helping matters, making things doubly hard. Right, here's where I start to tip it up, because obviously I want to get as much out the beer as I can. It's just a case now letting it keep going. But also when you transfer it from the bucket to the barrel, be mindful of the fact that your barrel only holds a certain amount. So if you've overbrewed by a litre or so, you know you're going to run out of space. So it's like keeping your eyes on two things at once, and this is where you could do 2 pairs of hands, because I'd like to move this blooming barrel, and oh, gorgeous smell. You know, even now at this stage, gorgeous. I personally think there's going to be more than just what's here. Can't use that. Oh no! It's not that I'm tight, but well, I am. But if I can get another squeeze, get another, you know, bit more out the barrel, out the bucket rather, then I might as well try. So, in a minute, we're near the end of what can go in the barrel. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to pinch the end and then stick it into the lemonade bottle that I've just picked up off the floor. The smell coming through, you know, it's for a homebrew beer, it's worth paying that bit extra. Right, I'm going to pinch it now. Put it in there. Right. Really strong smell to it, lovely aroma. And there we are. So, put the lid on. There's the lid. Because that is now ready for bottling tomorrow night. This is at the bottom of the barrel, so it's not going to be a true indication. It's a little bit cloudy because obviously some of the sediment's got in. But as you can see, that's quite a nice looking beer. Whew. Should be a nice taster as well when I finally get to taste it. That's all for now. Thanks for watching.